visionary, revolutionary. I'm a visionary, revolutionary.
What's going on, family? It's the boys back again for another weekly review. Today, we are here with the Week 10 review. We are your hosts, Camilio Salamander, and we got KB the fucking Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
Week 10, Week 10.
Week
Jane
10.
Cargill will be holding the belt for 9 weeks. 9 weeks and counting. 9 weeks and counting. She's looking fucking McMarvelous every time she step in that ring.
Way to keep simping for. Way to keep simping for.
Jane Cargill gonna be on the podcast, guys. I'm telling you.
And
I'm
according
to also be on the podcast.
Hey, don't worry. That's also my goal. I told you I had some stuff in the works. I'm still working on it. Hopefully by your birthday. I really want to present this to you as a birthday gift.
Hey, if that was you do that, I'll love you forever.
I thought you already loved me forever.
But I love you, but I'll love you forever, like no matter what.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that. Like I said, you my guy, so I'm working on it. I'm working on some things, just trying to see if I can even crack that door open. But you know, once I crack it open, I'm running straight through that motherfucker to get you what you want. So, Monday Night Raw. Well, first off, Week 10, Monday Night Raw, WWE. A lot of stuff happened on WWE. Some good, mostly bad, but not terrible. We had the fallout from Revolution, and boy, oh boy, did we get a fallout.
Yes, we did.
And Friday Night SmackDown with Roman Reigns avoiding decapitation by the Beast, Brock Lesnar. But let's jump into it, man. Monday Night Raw opened with Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and the Alpha Academy. Seth Rollins and KO were talking about their road to WrestleMania, while Alpha Academy was talking about the same thing. It then led to the Raw Tag Team Championship triple threat. That's right, a Raw Tag Team triple threat. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens versus RK Bro versus Alpha Academy. Now, before I get into the match, I told you I listen to other podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
And AEW did this triple threat. Tag team triple threat on Revolution. So I'm sitting there and I'm going back to what he said in the podcast, and one of the people I listen to, he said WWE, when they do triple threat tags, it's always 3 people in the ring. And I thought he was joking until I saw this, and I'm like, oh, I guess he was right. But has that always been that way?
3 people in the ring
with a triple threat tag?
WWE?
Yes.
I believe so. 3 in the ring. But I think in the triple threat they do that, but in the Fatal 4 tag, I think only 2 starts, and then you can tag. No. Oh, I don't know. That is because I have seen WWE start
do it both ways.
Yeah, do it both ways. Like, I think mainly in the triple threat they do 3, but if it's more than 3 teams, then they'll do just 2 people, and then you can tag anybody. Because I have seen WWE do that too, but I'm not for sure if they only do it with the tags. I mean, the triple threat tags, or if it's more than 3 teams that do that. I don't know. I don't recall at this moment.
I'm trying to think. The only times I can really remember them doing the triple threat tags for real is when the New Day were about to break Demolition's record, and they did 2 of them in the same night. But I'm trying to go back and think, was that 2 people or 3 people in the ring?
All right.
You remember that? You remember that night?
Yeah. I don't recall.
I feel like it was only 2.
I think it probably was.
I have to go back and watch that. But anyway, I
did it because AEW did it.
Nah, you know what? In a way, in some weird way, this one to me was kind of better than that. Was a little bit better than that triple threat tag team match that we got at Revolution, in like that WWE weird way. But we'll go into it real quick. Raw tag team titles on the line. Seth Rollins, KO, RK Bro, Alpha Academy. The match was fantastic. A lot of action. KO, Seth Rollins dominated this. And I feel like when I was watching it, RK Bro just kept playing in the background, but I always knew they would factor into the finish. And then fucking Randy Orton. Bro, Randy Orton's in his fucking 40s. And he just gets better. He's like fine wine. He hit Chad Gable with an RKO off the moonsault. Chad Gable was on his way down. And it looked better when they did it in slow-mo. He fully got the arms out there. You know how sometimes you just grab it, make it look like he in position. You know, you got to suspend your disbelief. Now, he actually got a hold. Boom. I'm sitting here, mouth agape. Like, what the fuck?
Is this one of the top RKOs that he hit?
I think this is up there. Well, it depends, because my favorite RKO reversal, it will always be WrestleMania 21, the chokeslam into the RKO. That's not to say he hasn't had, many others that are fantastic. That one is just special to me, so it will always take my number one. I mean, but you can go back to the one he hit on Seth Rollins, the one he hit on Matt Sydal, formerly known as Evan Bourne. But Jesus, this off the moonsault, take my fucking money. Right. Randy Orton gives you these moments. I guarantee you, we could go back, and every year he gives you a great RKO moment, maybe more than that. He's gonna go. His RKO has become of legendary status. Legendary status finisher. You got your tombstones, you got your rocks bottoms, you got your stone cold stunners, and you got the RKO. It's just that fucking iconic. And you know me, I'm never one to really put over Randy. I like Randy, but you know me and how I feel about him. But goddamn, it's Salamander off the fucking moonsault. You know how you felt when Sting did the dive through the 6 tables?
Yeah,
that's how I feel off a fucking moonsault.
That's why he the GOAT.
Hey. I never crossed that line. But what did you think? I'm sorry I took up so much time, but it was off the fucking moonsault. Just take it.
I never thought that I wanted to see Randy Orton back in the tag, but this partnership with him and Riddle is good. I'm just wondering when is he gonna become a snake again and strike? Because it's gonna happen. We ain't seen Randy Orton loyal to nobody. Like, that loyalty broke once where Evolution did what they did to him. So I want to know how long this is gonna last.
Well, if you remember when I said I think they should do the change while the betrayal while they're still champions.
Yeah.
There's a celebration coming up on this upcoming Monday's Raw. What if he does it there?
He probably is. He probably will.
That's how you get the WrestleMania match, and they're still Raw Tag Team Champions. So what you gonna do there?
Yeah.
It just adds another layer on top of the RK Bro story. This, to me, this is up there with the CM Punk and MJF shit. I mean, we've been waiting for Randy Orton to turn. This is up there with CM Punk and MJF. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Think so?
I think so. It's been a perfectly crafted story where you've always wanted more. Whether you come from Riddle or you come from Orton, they just complement each other so perfectly. This is up there, and it's been a slow burner. They've been telling this since what? I want to say right before or right after the new year. No, it's been longer than that. What? So what? Let's say mid 2021. I feel like this is almost a year in the making.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that WWE doesn't do long-term booking.
Yeah, they do.
I'm sorry, I just see it. I just
do long-term booking the views that care about.
Right. I'm telling you, once we get the betrayal is going to launch Randy into a different stratosphere. He'll be the in WWE he'll be one, but if you're talking about the entire wrestling world, I think he'll be the second most hated heel in the world, because I think people hate MJF that much that they hate him more than Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So, but he'll be the number one heel in WWE. I mean, Roman's up there, but I mean, you know, it's Roman. Just a pure heel, purely hated, Randy Orton. That's going to be the guy once he betrays Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I was just so impressed.
You'll go back to the most hated.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes. Anything else you want to add to this?
Not at all.
All right. 24/7 shit next. Burn this title to the fucking ground. Throw the ashes in a trash can, bag it up, and take it to the compost pile. And burn it again. That's exactly what needs to happen. Dana Brooke beat Tamina. It was the goofiest of matches. Dana Brooke couldn't even get the pin right. God fucking awful. Did you want to add anything to this? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not forget. Akira Tozawa and Tamina kissed again.
I'm tired of this soap opera shit.
It's not even a good soap opera.
Man, I'm just tired of this soap opera. I'm tired of this shit. That's really it. I'm tired of this soap opera shit. I want wrestling. I don't want this love story shit. I mean, how many times can you tell a love story before the shit get old?
Not too many. Moving on, we had the Miz, Logan Paul, and a Jerry Lawler promo segment next. They're all from Cleveland. They all come out, cut babyface promos. Jerry Lawler says, Miz, let's have WrestleMania here. And then the Miz just goes and berates Cleveland. In one sense, I don't fucking get it. In another hand, Miz is fucking great because he got himself booed in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very confused on why this shit happened.
I mean, us being from Ohio, he kind of is right.
I mean, of course he's right, but why would you have him come out here and cut a babyface promo on them and be like, fuck that, Miz. Midway through it, just go ahead and bury the city.
I mean, shit, this is the Miz. When he first came out, it was already, you know, from Cleveland, Ohio, and all that stuff. Now, you know, when he kind of got big and the Intercontinental first touched the WWE title for the first time, then it would start saying he basically left Cleveland behind and said, you know, now we come out residing from Hollywood, California. So he don't even claim Cleveland like that no more. But I mean, like you said, only good things happen when you leave Cleveland. Not even Cleveland. Like, good shit happens for you when you leave Ohio. Period. I mean, LeBron, he was in Ohio, Cleveland so long, and once he left, he got his first championship. Even though he bought one back, but you know, it takes for you to leave for you to accomplish something. I do agree with that though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I hear you. I think
that promo was kind of real. Like, yeah, let's bring WrestleMania here. Nah, like, it's Cleveland. Like, I would say Cleveland is worthy. Well, Ohio period is worthy enough to have pay-per-views.
I don't even think they worthy enough of that.
Nah, they do. Like,
no,
like in Extreme Rules, stuff like that.
Listen, yeah. every crowd from all
fucking not no the grandest stage on the mall. You gotta be in big ass cities. You gotta be in a Miami, LA, Houston, like big ass cities. Like, shit, like the motherfucking WrestleMania being in Columbus, WrestleMania being in Cleveland. That don't sound right.
Listen,
I'll tell you that. To be honest, that don't sound right.
I mean, it don't sound right, but
I would love it though.
This station,
I'll be there for sure, but I don't know.
This state shouldn't have pay-per-views. Every crowd here sucks. They suck. AEW was in Cleveland, and I've heard AEW sound way louder than other places. I feel like I need to be with the right crowd. You know, because if I go to a show, I'm trying to leave there with no hearing. I mean, you feel me? That's how you know you had a good time, though. Am I lying?
Are you right?
He's in there just cheering the whole fucking time. And he just like, I can barely hear. It was that loud.
Let me ask you, last time you went to the SmackDown show when it was here in Ohio, was they loud?
They weren't loud enough. They weren't loud enough. But you know what though? I can't.
Came out.
I was loud, but that was also during the Jinder Mahal WWE Championship run.
True, but that was when SmackDown was at its. When SmackDown came, 2016 to 2018, SmackDown was fucking phenomenal.
I mean, it was good. We had the great AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Face of America storyline. The New Day and the Usos, I think that was the start of their beef. Outside of the Jinder Mahal, I think that was when Shinsuke was still hot. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice little thing. I think I was just, for my first time being at a live televised event, being that close to the action. Like, I was only like 5 rows behind the announcers.
Oh shit, you was close.
Yeah, I was close. I mean, them tickets was cheap too.
Well, that explains why they shouldn't be coming to Ohio.
Exactly. Anything else you wanted to add to this? Like I said, in a sense, it's good because he got booed in his hometown, but I'm still confused on to why the fuck we did it.
I mean, this promo was good to me.
I mean, it was good.
It was good. I ain't even mad about the diss to Cleveland though.
I mean, you can't. It's Cleveland. You said it yourself. You gotta leave.
Yeah.
You gotta leave. I mean, look, Odell went to the Rams, got a ring. LeBron left, went to Cleveland, didn't get it the first time around, got a ring. Yeah, he came back and I feel like though that Cleveland ring is better than any ring.
Yeah, because he already said that, you know, even though he wins, if he won anywhere else, it don't feel accomplished until he bring one home. So out of all his rings, I think that's the best one. But I mean, it still took him to leave, because if he would have stayed, the GMs and owners and shit wouldn't have gave him what he needed in 2016 when he came back and won.
Fair enough. Bron Breakker, Tommaso Ciampa backstage segment. They were talking about their tag team match with the Dirty Dogs. Yes, with the Dirty Dogs, but then also they were focusing their attention to their NXT Championship Triple Threat match on NXT 2.0. We then had a Street Profits promo backstage next, where they said anything that happens to do with the Raw Tag Team Championship goes through them. Then we had Bron Breakker, Tommaso Ciampa against the Dirty Dogs, in which Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa got the win in a match that it did its job, but I've already seen it. This is just a situation where they continuously run it into the ground. I should have known something was up when Bron Breakker got the fucking pinfall. But, you know, I just played it off like, well, I mean, he is the NXT champion. But then there was another side of me that was really pissed. So Triple H's NXT, Karrion Kross, comes up in this motherfucker as the NXT champion, and he fucks around and gets pinned in 90 seconds to a babyface Jeff Hardy with his feet on the ropes. Bron Breakker come up in this motherfucker, now NXT 2.0, being ran by Vince McMahon, and he's getting pinfall wins as the NXT champion. What the fuck is this?
Because he's the chosen one. He was handpicked by Vince McMahon. Karrion Kross was not. Karrion Kross was handpicked by Triple H. That's why.
So what you're saying is they're killing Triple H's vision.
Basically, I mean, I don't gotta say it. They saying it themselves. Look at all the people they released. Look how NXT was being ran like last year versus how they being ran now. This time last year versus now. I mean, they telling it themselves that they really don't give a fuck what Triple H had built up.
That's sad too, because I was just watching Takeover, where Pete Dunne defended his championship against Walter. It was when Walter won the United Kingdom championship. Shit's crazy.
Hard hitting. Matches went on longer than 10 minutes. Everything.
That match was about 30 minutes. And it was just hard hitting 30 minutes. Moving on, we had an Omos promo. I'm not gonna talk too much about this. I just hated the camera angle, how they filmed this.
Yeah.
Then we had Omos versus Apollo Crews. Omos squashed Apollo Crews. We then had an Edge promo. I'm not gonna hold you. I could not pay attention to the promo because of the lighting and how they shot this. I thought this was very, very, very weird. But basically, he just talked about, his WrestleMania opponent, AJ Styles, and how he just wants a different side of Styles, and that he has now been awoken. The rated R superstar, the ultimate opportunist, is back. It's a great thing too.
Yeah. He I think he attacked AJ to bring the AJ that we need out. The AJ that we saw, like the hungry AJ, like let's be real. Ever since AJ dropped the WWE title, he ain't been. Well, I won't say he ain't been the same. It's just he been out the picture. I think this is a way to bring him back into that picture, that main event picture.
Does he win the WWE Championship sometime this year?
No, not even that. I think the bigger question is who wins at Mania, Edge or AJ Styles?
Of course, you got to give it to Edge.
Think so?
Yeah.
I mean, last year, did he fight at Mania last year?
Yeah, he got stacked.
Oh yeah, he did. So his first Mania coming back, so 36, he beat Randy Orton. Last year WrestleMania, that's when it was that triple threat. He lost. I mean, it could go either way. Cause AJ, he ain't had a singles match at Mania in a couple years.
I feel like with them trying to turn Bobby Lashley babyface, I think they're positioning Edge to be the top heel on Raw.
Possibly.
It's a good look too.
But do you want a babyface AJ or a heel AJ?
I could
AJ
take
perfect.
A heel AJ is perfect, but I've loved AJ Styles as a babyface. He can really play the underdog babyface character really well. I mean, especially with somebody that's the tenure of Edge. And look, AJ Styles loses at WrestleMania. Let's say Edge wins the WWE Championship in a month. They decide to wait all the way until some type of, let's say, C-level pay-per-view right before the Rumble hits. AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble, goes on to fight Edge. Edge goes on a year-long run.
Yeah,
this could be his final championship run. He loses it to AJ Styles at next year's Mania. That could be, it's not going to be your night one main event, but it could very well be your night one co-main event. I think that's a perfect way to go. And really have, let AJ get shots at Edge. Let's just say if you need to do something for a one-off battle royal, just to determine a challenger for a C-level pay-per-view. Yeah, AJ can win that one, and then he could lose to Edge. Maybe he gets 2 shots, and they're spaced out, so you can be like, man, AJ Styles has lost 2 times to Edge for the WWE Championship, but he won the Royal Rumble. So now it's like, he's there now. He's ready to take this belt off of Edge.
Right.
It could be a nice little year-long storyline that you keep burning in the background. But that's just me. Anything else?
I feel you. I feel where you're coming from on that. Yeah, I fuck with it. But the thing is, okay, so we have to put a winner on there. I kind of will agree that Edge will have to pick up the win, because out of both storylines, Edge, he's the one that really kind of needs it. He came back from retirement and everything, so his time is kind of limited, I think. So Yeah, but I've been saying this. I said this when he first came back that he gonna have one more title reign before he finally hang him up, and probably when he finally accomplish and get the title, hold it, and then whoever take it off of him, if they decide to do like a rematch of it. But basically, when he done with the title, I think that's where he gonna hang him up for good.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just say he's ready to hang it up next year. You can give him a year-long title run. Nobody's gonna care it's Edge, and he's the ultimate opportunist. And let it be times to where I would love for them to add this to his character, where Edge picks his opponents, but he only picks them by delivering the spear. And that's a telling tale. I would want him to like only use the spear in dire situations, or if he's in a situation where he's dominating and he wants to send a point. Other than that, I think he could be winning matches off the execution.
Yeah.
Or some type of submission. And really build that spear up. So, I mean, because can you imagine if you build up the spear and we run, like I said, AJ and Edge next year, can you imagine Edge is in dire straits? Just say the matches, because you know with Edge and AJ, you probably can get 20-25.
Yeah.
So let's say we get
you gotta have nobody kick out the spear during this time too.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
when AJ when he hit the spear, AJ be the first one to kick out in like a year, and that just put AJ more over once when he take the belt.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say, like, imagine AJ does kick out. The match goes on about another 5. You can tell Edge is in dire straits. He's going for it one more time. AJ Styles reverses the spear into a calf crusher. And that's how he wins. He taps him out.
Everybody said, but do you want Edge to tap out? Or would you rather have Edge take a pinfall?
If this is Edge, it's Edge. He'll want to put somebody over, and it's AJ. If you want to have him go to the ropes, that's fine. But then what are you going to do for the next minute or two before he goes into the phenomenal forearm?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you setting up the phenomenal forearm. I think he should end it with that, but not like because he hits the phenomenal forearm, but lately we ain't really been seeing it.
I mean, okay, so
really ever since he got into the tag team, we like he'll hit it every now and then, but it really ain't been that. It's been a Styles Clash for real. So I think that's when you hit that. Like so as once you make it to the ropes, you know that next minute you basically building up to that spot. But he hit it like when I say he hit the phenomenal forearm, he hit the phenomenal forearm like he cocked all the way back, jumped like high as hell on the rope, so he all the way in the air, and then boom, hit it, and then that way, yeah. But it's one of the ones where Edge like he get hit, Edge fall back, but his legs is in the air. And then AJ just basically like just cover him like fast like that because he already up like that. It's one of those.
Okay, I would say if that's how you want to go out, then what I would love for them to do is, let's just say 10 minutes before that, let's just say they do a callback to AJ Styles and Randy Orton, where AJ's going for the phenomenal forearm. He sees Edge lining up for the spear. They do the spot on the rope where they both look at each other. But remember the last time AJ Styles, he didn't try to go for it again. So what I would like to see is where he thought he faked out Edge on the second one, but Edge hits a spear.
Yeah.
Off of that phenomenal forearm for him.
Yeah, but in the air.
Yup.
Yeah. I said that would be good too.
Yeah, and it'd be a great callback to a person who they both had really good feuds with, Randy Orton.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, I mean that could be like midway through the match, so that way you got about another 10 to 15 minutes to play with. But I would say AJ Styles he would only be able to hit the phenomenal forearm once, and it's at the very end.
Yeah.
But I say you could probably give him 2 styles. Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably give him 2 style clashes. Let's see. We had the Kevin Owens backstage promo next, where he was distraught and still trying to find his way to WrestleMania, but he said he had a crazy idea. We then had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Carmella and Queen Zelina. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan got the win. They are now added to the WrestleMania Women's Tag Team Championship match. So now there's a triple threat with Sasha Banks and Naomi. We then had Austin Theory versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor got the win off Damian Priest interference. We had a Bianca Belair backstage promo where she talked about making history for the second time and winning at WrestleMania. We then had the KO promo where he pretty much called out Stone Cold Steve Austin while pretty much ragging on him, talking about how injured and how washed and dried up he is. Don't know if I really like that though. Like, that's not a good way for Kevin Owens to call out Stone Cold to me.
Mm-hmm. I think it was because at first, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this shit. Because we reported on this before they even made it known that was trying to set up, Stone Cold versus. But at this time, they didn't even know it was just gonna be Stone Cold supposed to be involved in WrestleMania. We was predicting it was gonna be Kevin Owens because the only thing that makes sense because he do the stunner. So fast forward a little bit later, then it was reports coming out that Stone Cold said no, that he wasn't interested in doing it. Fast forward a little bit later, now WWE is planning on, not planning, but they had Kevin Owens call him out. So now they basically made it officially known that they're trying to get Stone Cold to come out. But then we also reported that they was trying to use Stone Cold past WrestleMania. So what if they just set up the confrontation at WrestleMania and then they fight at WrestleMania Backlash? I think that seemed more reasonable. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna set up the confrontation that's gonna end with Stone Cold giving him a stunner. Let's be real, we already know. And then that's what's gonna set up the match, if it is a match.
I guess my question is, am I supposed to care? Like, what makes me think if he can't do it at WrestleMania that he's not gonna do it at WrestleMania Backlash?
This time WrestleMania Backlash, Kevin Owens going over.
But I don't want to see Kevin Owens go over.
It's WWE. They don't care what you want to see. That, how many times they'll told us that. Remember, Daniel Bryan, we wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble. He got eliminated, and then they sent Goldust out there on purpose because he got the Shattered Dream shit that popped up. He was Daniel Bryan was supposed to come out at 30, but they said I think Rey Mysterio came out at 30. He got booed. Like, they don't care what we want. They gonna give us what they want, and we gonna accept it.
But I don't want to see Kevin Owens go over.
Hey, some people don't even want to see Stone Cold come back. I would say it's a good thing, but this goes into one of my questions that I would say, but we're gonna save that for another podcast. How should WWE legends return or be used? And I think this is one of the questions and stuff like that too, because me personally, I think the way he ended his career was cool, but we already know his injury and all that shit like that too. Plus, I think it's too late. If it was gonna happen, it should have happened at WrestleMania 23. When he first came, something like that. Didn't do it. It should have happened a little bit earlier before then. Didn't happen. I think it's too late now. Honestly, that's like seeing Goldberg come back. Am I excited to see him? Yeah, I'm excited when I hear the music and shit. Then when I'm saying like, damn, that's setting up a match, I don't want to see that. I'm always excited to see a legend, but when you realize that they're setting up a match, it's like, damn, do I really want to see this shit? Like, I even get the same vibes when Beth Phoenix come back. It's just legends in general. I'm like, it just depends how long you've been away and how you end your career. Well, I think, simple like that, just Stone Cold, I don't think he should come back. Because I'm honestly thinking whatever first match is going to be, it's not going to live up to it. Just like we thought Goldberg and Undertaker was going to be phenomenal. That shit was horrible.
Don't remind me.
Thought Goldberg and Fiend was going to be good. That was horrible. Roman Reigns and Goldberg. That was cool. It was cool, I guess. It was one of those. But it was
Goldberg versus Dolph was good. I love that match.
But it's because Dolph can sell. That's the only thing that made that match good. Roman Reigns, like, that match was cool, I guess. One of those. Just like the Roman Reigns match. That match was cool, I guess. It was good because it's Roman Reigns. You feel me? So Roman Reigns, he's gonna be Roman. He's gonna do what he's do. So that would make the match good. You take Roman out that match and put somebody else there, it's not gonna be that good. Didn't he face Drew McIntyre?
Yes, he did.
It wasn't that good. I can admit when he faced Bobby Lashley, it wasn't that good. Only because it was like, bruh, Hurt Business came out to help you. Goldberg literally kicked Shelton Benjamin, clothesline Cedric Alexander. Y'all out for the whole time. What the fuck? Y'all professional wrestlers. Y'all was once the tag team champions. And one hit for a 50-year-old man take you out for the whole match. What the fuck? It's shit like that. Like, I get that they legends, but they overpowered. Like, this ain't the game where I'm like, oh, Goldberg coming back, so I'm bringing back Goldberg 98. No, this is Goldberg 2020. This is Goldberg with the full gray goatee. This Goldberg, how he used to hit his head before he come out to get in the mood. If he hit his head too hard, he knocked out. He's old. He's fragile. It's not the same. This is not the same Goldberg that could go on. Well, he could never go on 5 minutes. But back then, I guarantee you that he could work on that shit and go on work a 5-minute match. This one, you could tell once he, like, his wind is broke. You could tell he's old. I don't want to see. It just depends. Like, if you using a legend, use him right. Like the way they using Edge, he's a legend. So Edge coming back, like the way they've been using it, they ain't pushing him. He ain't too overpowered. None of that shit. That's so good. The way AEW uses Sting, that shit is good. He's not too overpowered. He's not this. He's not that. He's getting somebody over, and they're not stuffing them down our throats. With Goldberg come back, he can. I get that it's Goldberg, but he come back. He can leave right now. He just had his last match. He could come back next year sometime and automatically be into that title picture. I don't like that. If you're gonna come back, you should have to come back and earn your way up there. Even if they just throw you in the number 1 contender match. It should be the 2 people who actually deserve to be there and fucking make it a triple threat. Something. Instead of you just appearing and you just right now, you number 1 contender, you fighting for the title. Possibility you can win. Like, I don't like that shit. It's all the way you utilize the legends. I don't like that. But I know I've been talking for a while, but I'm gonna go more detail when we talk about this in a separate episode.
Alright, well, I'm giving Raw a 5.
Yeah. I agree.
Alright, breezing through NXT 2.0, or at least until we get to the main event. We had Women's Dusty Cup. Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai beat Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade after Toxic Attractions. JC Jane and Gigi Dolan interfered. We have Fallon Henley, beat Tiffany Stratton. Grayson Waller defeated LA Knight in their last man standing match. I'm assuming LA Knight's getting called up to the main roster. Women's Dusty Cup semifinals, second match. Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai, they beat Kaden Carter and Casey Canizaro, setting up Wendy Chu, Dakota Kai versus Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai. NXT 2.0 with their Women's Dusty Cup have been kind of unpredictable. So a part of me thinks Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai are going to beat Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai.
I want Io Shirai to be on the main roster.
A lot of us do.
If you're not coming to the main roster, because you in NXT and you feel like, man, yeah, like you don't want to go to the main roster because you feel like you're gonna be dropped out. Well, it's too late for that shit now because Vince McMahon is taking over NXT. At this point, just leave. That's how I feel. I mean, Cesaro, he did the shit. He asked for his release. He wasn't shit. He knew. I ain't been on TV like that, and the last push I got was that match with Roman, and possibly they probably told him that was gonna keep him into that main event scene, but they didn't. So he probably went ahead and did what they told him to do, put him in a tag scene. He was doing that for a while, thinking, I'm gonna pay my dues to get back up there. But they probably told him what that direction was for him. He wasn't fucking with it. Say, bro, release me. And stuff like that. That's why I feel like there should be a little bit more people, because like Io Shirai, I think she's gonna be one of the next people who ask for their release.
I don't think he asked for his. I don't think he
one of was. He probably expressed. If he didn't ask, he probably expressed like not being happy for them to do it. Because I mean, other than that, why would you release Cesaro?
I don't think
something deeper to it.
They didn't release him. His contract just ran out. They couldn't agree on the new contract.
That's what it was. I thought okay.
Nah, he just walked away clean. That's why they were saying like he could have showed up on AEW Dynamite that following Wednesday.
Because he probably was wanting above fucking not creative control but a push, and they probably wasn't trying to get that to him.
Probably.
That's probably why he walked away. But either way it goes, whether he asked for a release or his contract expired, he left for a reason. He left most likely because WWE wasn't trying to get him a push, and the push that he felt like he deserved. Mick Foley came out and said they didn't see him what I saw and what many of you saw.
I mean, of course not. And that's crazy because when Mick Foley was the GM, Cesaro and Sheamus were tearing down the shows every week with their best of 7.
I thought he'll go 1-on-1 with Roman Reigns and put on that good match that he did, and that would have been enough for him to at least gain the recognition.
Yeah. You would think so. Because I think that's one of his best matches in the singles division. He's had numerous with the Bar, but just one-on-one singles, I feel like that's his best match. And he had been putting on great matches with the likes of Daniel Bryan. He had a couple of good ones with Ricochet. Like, they could tear down the house, but they obviously didn't see something in Cesaro, so he just decided to leave, which sometimes you do got to bet on yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not like Cesaro is far from a bad wrestler. Some would say he's a great wrestler. I think he's a fantastic wrestler. I think he could be world champion in any other promotion other than WWE.
Yeah, it's just too bad that we the only ones that see that.
Right.
Where do you think he go?
I'm hoping AEW. I can see him go to MLW. I can see him going to Impact.
Yeah, but say Impact probably be the option.
It would be a great option. You can thrust him in there. Like I said, you can thrust him in there in that X division, or if you want to throw him in that world title picture. Everybody
knows. All right, if you was in WWE and you're a well-known name and you go to any company after y'all depart, you getting thrown into that main event picture. Because if you was a good upper mid card act in WWE in a company like Impact, you'll be the top guy in the main event picture.
You got a point. MSK versus Imperium, no contest. The Creed brothers interfered. We then had the NXT Championship match. Dolph Ziggler beats Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker to become the new NXT champion. Robert Roode got involved. Dolph Ziggler hit the super kick to Ciampa. I thought the match was great. Making Dolph Ziggler your NXT champion, I don't really know about, but I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan, so I think this shit's fucking fantastic. He looks good with that NXT belt.
Yeah. If he ain't gonna be a main title picture, I'd rather see him with that belt. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think Bron Breakker's main roster ready at this point too, so he doesn't need to win it back. Whoever's taking it off Dolph should be the next person who's going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave NXT 2.0. It was a TV special. I can give it a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
All right. Moving on to AEW Dynamite. We opened with Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston opening segment. Chris Jericho was upset with himself that he could not come to terms with shaking Eddie Kingston's hand. Eddie Kingston then told him, this wasn't for me, this was all for you and your ego. Next thing you know, 2.0 comes out, but I thought it was kind of weird that they weren't really beating up Chris Jericho. So then Santana and Ortiz come out to make the save. Ortiz had Floyd, gave it to Chris Jericho. They're about to attack 2.0, but he takes out Ortiz and Santana. Jake Hager comes down and he's conflicted, but then he destroys Santana and Ortiz. And now Chris Jericho has a new stable of Santana, 2.0, Daniel Garcia, and they're known as the Jericho Appreciation Society. Eddie Kingston took a nasty table bump. I haven't heard anything about him being injured, so that's good. This name's fucking fantastic. The segment was fantastic, and they said Tony Khan said he was coming out with new storylines. Boy, there you go.
Whew. Hey, what I can say that Eddie Kingston, his rawness and realness will always have him connected to the crowd. Always. Scripted, whether it was scripted or not, 10 out of 10.
Yes. We had a CM Punk vignette talking about the dog collar match. We then had an AEW World Championship title match. And you know me, I'm really big. It's one of my problems when they want to put the belt on Brock, having TV title defenses. Whether I know you're going to lose, win. It's just the fact that it's there.
I was gonna shit on this one. This may be like the only bad thing. The match wasn't bad, but just because it wasn't no build up. And if you gonna put a world championship title on TV, give me some fucking build up to it. Make me feel like why I should be excited to see this. Even if he's the number one contender. Why is he getting his championship now, title change now, and not at the next pay-per-view or the next special TV taping? Or why is he getting it freshly off the next week of Revolution?
Listen here, bro. You can't have it both ways. You sit here and complain when they follow the rankings, and now you're gonna sit here and complain. I'm sorry, you sit here and complain when they don't follow the rankings. So now you're going to sit here and complain when they do follow the rankings?
No, I'm not mad that they follow the rankings. I'm mad at the fact that they rushing it. Because why rush it? Why give it to us? He just had a title defense Sunday.
Because we're not done with the Adam Cole storyline.
But why? Even though he's a number one contender, that's it. I'm just saying, not that the match wasn't bad, but it's the fact that this day had no build up. Yes, is he number one contender? Yeah, but should he honestly, should the match been this early? No, I don't think so. It could have happened next week, or it could have happened 2 weeks from now, or it could have happened at the St. Patrick's special that they have. But in the meantime, you could be building up to the next one. You act like you can't. Don't act like they can't tell 2 stories for 1 title. Like Adam Page can be in 2 storylines. He doing this with Adam Cole. He beat him, but Adam Cole is not trying to get over that shit yet. Meanwhile, he's moving on to the next step, which is he got to worry about him. But they also have my eye on him because he's still mad bitter that I beat him and shit like that too. So you can do all that. I'm just saying the only bad thing about that is that they ran it too soon. Like you ran it the week after. It could have built up to it. You could have ran it 2 weeks from now, but the fact that you did it too soon.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, you could have done this on the St. Patrick's Day special and then hyped it up for a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think they probably didn't want to though, because you got Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. That's probably going to be a huge title change.
And let me say this. Well, you could have this shit open. Because to me, just because they ran this so far, that lets me know that Dante Martin is not nowhere near the title picture. Even though he's the number one contender and shit like that, he's not like AEW don't even have him on their radar right now to even hold that title.
I mean, of course not. I mean, his brother just came back. So what if this was the way of getting him out of that singles division and putting back in the tag?
Well, shit, you ain't even had to do that. Shit, his brother came back, so we know that's the reason why he stepped down. Yeah. So you didn't have to do this. I'm just saying, I just don't agree with the way they did it.
Okay. Post match.
Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
You could have had his brother came back. He was number one contender. He felt like they honestly had a great chance of capturing the AEW tag team titles. Boom. I'm gonna step down, forfeit my number one contender spot, go back with my brother, run this tag team shit. Now, quote unquote storyline mode, they have no number one contender. So what we do? Do a tournament or book a multi-man match or a battle royal. Determine the number one contender. Place Adam Cole back in there. Adam Cole wins. That's how you stay in this storyline, keep that shit going. If you want to be technical and them following the rankings, that's how you would do that. Because he forfeit, so that means it leads them. Yeah, technically, can number 2 slide up to number 1? Yeah, but I mean, it's wrestling, so we gonna have a match to settle who the number 1 contender is. Which means it probably would be number 2 and number 3. Adam Cole might be number 3, and then somebody else might be number 2. 1-on-1 match, main event, Dynamite, book that shit, build around it. Adam Cole win. In front of him, call out Adam Page. That's setting up their next showdown.
Okay. I
hire me to be Dynamite GM. I even run Rampage. I don't even need Dynamite. Come on.
Tony Khan, TK. He said he wants to run Ring of Honor with you. He said giving Cody, giving Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe.
No, just give me Jay Cargill and I'll build a show around her. I'm telling you, we'll be up there in the millions of views. I'm telling you.
Post match, Adam Cole comes out, calls out
the TBS Championship for 500 days. I'm telling you now, if I run that show.
Can I continue?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Post match, Adam Cole comes.
He'd be 40-0. I have her go 50-0, like you said, 50-0, and then that 51st win, that would be the time that she'll drop her title. But overall, she had a combined of 500 days. Or something different, 75-0. Is she going for that 76 win? Or that 75th win? That's when she dropped the title. Then you won't be 500 days. You know what I mean? She right around the corner on that 50. So yeah. She be dominant. 70. She's 74-1. She's still the best one on the roster statistically. I'm gonna say that every week.
Can I please continue?
Go ahead.
There are other exciting angles that happen tonight.
Jade ain't a part of it.
See, trust me. Trust me, it was way more exciting than Jade. Can I please continue?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Post match,
she better than Kenny Omega. I would say that statistically, Kenny Omega probably got an 80% win percentage. She got 100%. Number 1, she better than Britt Baker. She better than all of them. Thunder Rosa, all of them. Mercedes Martinez, all of them. She better than all of them. Tay Conti, all of them. She beat her. Better than all of them. Jay Cargill, I'm telling you, she the queen of AEW. Give her crown. You can go. I'll sit back, I promise.
Post-match, Adam Cole. Post-match, Adam Cole calls out. Hangman was already out there. Post-match, Adam Cole comes out, challenges Hangman to a 6-man tag and then said he told Hangman that he was going to pick some people that know him way better than he knows himself. I was very, very, very confused, especially from what I heard later on in the night. I was very confused about that, but we're going to get there when we get there. So we then jump into Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley versus the Workhorsemen, which Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley got the win. Then William Regal comes out and cuts this amazing masterclass promo, and I heard he took up a lot too much time, but it's William fucking Regal, bro. Let that man talk. And just him and Tony Schiavone really stole this to me. And then he put over Bryan Danielson as the best professional wrestler, and then he put over Jon Moxley just for being crazy as fuck. And that was that. And it was kind of like the promo that I said he should do, where it's no more kicks and flips. This is pure professional wrestling and, you know, just straight violence, and you're going to take it and leave it. I love the promo.
Man, this match was ass kicking. Moxley and Danielson, I swear, they should be the next in line for the tag team titles. Just imagine what the fuck the tag team titles could do in the hands of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley.
They shouldn't lose them for like a year and a half.
Yeah, but just imagine the fucking prestige to the team who would finally defeat them. Just imagine.
If that's the case, who beats them? Because I can only think of one team.
The Acclaim.
No.
The Acclaim. You go out there, boom, first time. Matt Caster come out there, drop some bars on them, you know. Like basically we finna whoop your ass and shit like that. Go ahead and say some more shit about Renee. Why not? And shit like that. Go ahead and say some shit about Brie and stuff. Why not? And then they pick up the win.
You're joking, right?
Yeah, they rap and say exactly what they're gonna do in the match. They do exactly what he said.
You're joking, right?
He's like, just like Larry Bird used to be like, you know, I'm gonna hit you with the fake. I'm gonna jab to the left. Then I'm gonna come back. Then I'm gonna bounce 3 times with my right hand. I'm gonna take the ball around my back and I'm gonna lay it up with my left. And he'll do exactly that. You can't stop it. That'd be some shit. He come out, rap exactly how it's gonna go, and then that's how the match go. They lived up to it. That'd be sweet.
You're joking, right?
I don't want to see FTR with the titles.
FTR is the perfect team.
Not right now.
No, not right now. I'm talking about a year and a half from now.
Maybe, but just imagine a year and a half from now how big the Acclaim will be.
They ain't gonna be able to. They will never be FTR in the ring.
They could.
No, they can't. FTR are light years away.
They'll beat them with bars. They'll rap. They'll spit some. They'll drop some super hot fire that will throw FTR off their game. Cause all through the match they be sitting there thinking like, what the fuck he just say to me? And that's how they gonna pick up the win.
Okay. Backstage promo segment next with Hangman Page and Dark Order. Hangman apologized for pushing Alex Reynolds in the pay-per-view match. They were then asking Hangman who was going to be their tag team partner or his tag team partners, which he said, I just ran into Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and they said they wanted some more of the Young Bucks. So I guess Hangman Page thought that Adam Cole was picking the Young Bucks, but we'll see about that later on. Next up, we have Wheeler Yuta versus Pac, and Pac got the win. Nothing to this match except for Pac's Avalanche Brainbuster. That shit looked like it hurt. Can you imagine taking an Avalanche Brainbuster?
I can't imagine taking a Brainbuster, period.
I think I'd be okay with taking just a regular Brainbuster, but I don't know if I want to take an Avalanche Brainbuster. That shit looked like it'd kill you.
Hell yeah.
We then had the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, Adam Cole backstage segment next, where Adam Cole was talking about who he was going to pick for his partners. The Bucks thought it was going to be them, so they said, "We already told you, Adam. If it's anything to do with Hangman, we don't really want it." And then that's when Adam Cole said, "I wasn't talking about you two. I was talking about Bobby and Kyle." And Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly started going at it with the Young Bucks. Adam Cole stormed off, calling them dummies. I think this is just how the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks just turned face with this.
Yeah.
So is that setting up the trios match with a returning Kenny Omega?
I think it's either gonna happen at the St. Patrick's Day shit or Double or Nothing.
You think he either makes his comeback at St. Patty's Day or Double or Nothing?
Well, I think it's gonna be Double or Nothing. He gonna make his comeback a few weeks before. But he could come back at the St. Patty's Day event just to set up for Double or Nothing.
I think it's got to be
like another TV special in between now and between St. Patty's Day event and then Double or Nothing. They gonna do the match thing, and then after that match, then that's probably where they announce trio titles, and then it probably be everybody running back at Double or Nothing for the title.
Who do you have win? Adam Cole and Red Dragon, or the Elite?
I would want to say Adam Cole and Red Dragon, but I think the Elite is gonna win.
I honestly think Tony Khan would give it to Adam Cole and Red Dragon and have the Elite chase it, because then you can run it for the rest of the year.
That is true.
You know, he is all about long-term booking, so that is a good way to get there. We had an FTR Tully Blanchard backstage segment next. FTR fired Tully Blanchard. When Tony Khan said he was giving us new storylines, he was not lying, because the next one was absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. Mac Marvelous even. Andrade Hardy family office emergency board meeting. They voted out Matt Hardy. Private party turned on him. What the fuck's going to happen? Matt Hardy's getting his ass beat. What is that thing? Is that the original Hardy Boys thing? Who is that coming down the rim? Oh my gosh, that is brother Nero Jeff Hardy, and he is dancing while his brother is getting his ass beat. But he came down there. I forgot to mention Darby Allin and Sting came down there. I'm sitting here wondering, I wonder what Jeff Hardy and Sting got to say after that TNA debacle.
Nah, I think they settled their differences already. I just want to know, Matt Hardy in the ring getting his ass whooped. Darby Allin and Sting come out. They talk on the ramp for a while. Then walk to the ring. Then finally jump in. Meanwhile, Matt Hardy in the ring getting his ass whooped. Then they all start getting their ass whooped. And then you hear Jeff Hardy music hit, right? Jeff Hardy come out. Let me dance real quick. Let me hit it. Meanwhile, Darby Allin, Sting, and your blood brother is in the ring getting their ass whooped. And then you finally come in. It was good. It was exciting. Could it be executed better? Yeah. I mean, but shit. It was funny though.
Bro. Listen. Tony Khan's smart. I bet you Tony Khan probably had an idea. Like, I can't wait. I'm gonna turn Matt heel again. Except I'm gonna do it better. And I'm be like, I can already see it now when Matt turned on the promo the next week. I remember at the very beginning when you debuted in AEW, I was getting my ass beat. What you want to do? You want to dance? And we're all going like, oh, that is a good callback too, Jeff. You was just dancing down there trying to get your shit in while your brother and Darby Allin and Sting are getting their ass beat.
Yeah.
Tony Khan probably told him to do that shit on purpose. We gotta make sure we got a nice little heel turn from Matt when we ready.
That shit was funny, man.
It was too funny. We had a Tony Nese Swerve Strickland backstage segment next, where Swerve Strickland being interviewed by Tony Schiavone was interrupted by Tony Nese. They set up their Rampage main event match for Friday. Strickland had a gem of a line too, where he said, pretty much talking about where Tony Nese is used to getting his ass beat by him on Friday nights, talking about 205 Live. gotta throw those little shits in there.
Is he still the premier athlete?
He is still the premier athlete.
Okay.
We then had he's still the premier athlete. We then had what I thought was a fantastic promo, and this was always my question about this guy. Wardlow promo segment next. He cut a fantastic babyface promo here, and that was always my thing. Can Wardlow talk? You never really hear him talk, but he cut a fantastic babyface promo. He's ready. He's ready. We know next week MJF's going to screw him, and that's where we're really going to see. This is his first real test on the mic with MJF, but just cutting a regular babyface promo, I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, like that was a big question if he can honestly talk. And even though we saying like, this reminds us of the Batista shit, all that, I can say as if we're starting off, he better on the mic than Batista was. I will say that.
Yeah, but you just know that the test gets infinitely harder next week.
Right.
Or not next week. The week after that, whenever he hops in the ring and he's on the mic with MJF. Right. MJF is on CM Punk levels. And like I said, Wardlow did a great promo here, cutting a great babyface promo, talking about where he had to take the money from Max. He didn't want to. He understood Max was the scum of the earth, but he's still contracted to MJF. He just doesn't give a fuck. So he's going to go and win the TNT Championship next week, and he's going to earn that AEW contract. Mm-hmm. He's losing next week.
Yeah, most definitely.
We had a QT Marshall, Keith Lee backstage segment next, where QT Marshall was trying to pretty much align with Keith Lee, saying they both had a enemy and team task. Keith Lee just turned his back, said, "I have a pretty large back," turned around, walked away. We then had a tag team championship match. The Acclaimed versus Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express got the win in a fantastic AEW tag team championship match. The Acclaimed keep getting better and better.
They did Acclaimed. So they my favorite tag team right now. Even though they didn't win, they my favorite tag.
Now, is that why you hate Jungle Boy?
No. I don't like the gimmick was cool, but now I think it's played as ran this course.
So you're admitting that you hate Jungle Boy?
No. Just the gimmick, both of their gimmicks, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I mean, Jungle Boy ain't nothing but Tarzan, and Luchasaurus is just a fucking dinosaur. That's it.
So what you're saying?
We ran this course.
So what you're saying is Tony Khan is living out his dreams.
You can say that.
It's kind of disrespectful. You heard it here first, people. Salamander hates Jungle Boy, and he hates Luchasaurus. You love to see it. We had a J Cargo vignette asking who's next. Got to get those Goldberg lines in there. Got to get them ready for it, don't we? All jokes aside, she looked marvelous with the TBS Championship asking who's next. She's money, Salamander. I keep saying it. You keep singing her praises and simping for her. She's fucking money.
Yeah, I told you. I'm telling you.
Next up, we had Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. This match was god fucking awful. I don't know what happened. I don't know where this match fell apart. This match just was not good.
Because she's probably working with an injury that we reported on. I mean, she says she ain't injured, but I mean, there's a possibility.
Yeah. TNT Championship on the line. Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky. I thought this match was fan-fucking-tastic. Sammy Guevara did a 630 and crashed through a table. He was then being tended to by the medical staff. They were trying to take him out. Tay Conti comes out. Man, he went on to finish the match. Scorpio Sky got the win off the TKO. Then Paige Van Sant started beating up Tay Conti, and then she signed her AEW contract on Tay Conti's ass. I want that to really be specified because they really put that over by making sure they zoomed in on Paige Van Sant signing the contract on the ass of Tay Conti. This feels very Attitude Era-esque.
Yeah. I could, yeah. It's like the show started off good, then it was like the last two couple shit was kind of like,
I think it's just because.
But they ended off on a good note.
Yeah, they ended off on a good note. It's just, I think like the TNT Championship, it really was more so to set up an angle instead of a championship match.
Mm-hmm.
So now my question is, and this is going to be the test of Tony Khan, because Tony Khan has never went the WWE route with a week-long reign. We can sit here and say that we can sit here and say that Wardlow's not going to win next week. But is it a good thing to have Scorpio Sky beat Wardlow? Is that a good thing? Should you do that?
I don't. If he wins, it's shit. If he wins, I think it's gonna be due to MJF interference in some way.
You're saying that Scorpio Sky retains?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's the Dynamite Diamond Ring? That's how he screws Wardlow?
I think so. Yeah, he probably gonna hit him with it due to referee distraction and shit.
Or does Wardlow win, but MJF alters the contract to where Wardlow has to give him the TNT Championship? And that's how you give MJF his TNT Championship reign without actually winning it.
Right. Possibly they could go a few ways with this shit.
Yeah. Tony Khan said he had a whole bunch of new storylines. He certainly did. I'm gonna give this a 8. No. I'm gonna give it 8.5. 8.5. Very good episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm agree. I'm gonna meet you at 8 at an 8.
Loved it. Friday Night SmackDown. Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, opening segment. Paul Heyman was here for Roman Reigns' blood. Brock Lesnar was here for Roman Reigns' blood. Paul Heyman said he's not here, so Brock asked, well, then who's protecting you? Paul Heyman runs away from Brock. You know, a lot of times when they do that runaway angle, Brock typically catches them and then brings them out. But when he didn't do that, I was like, oh, they're going to let Paul Heyman get away. And Paul Heyman made it to the truck and got away. I thought this was a great opening segment.
Yeah. I just like how they telling the story between Brock and Paul. I think that's forget Roman. That's the main story. It's Brock and Paul. That's the main story right there.
No, I definitely agree. We had a Sheamus and Ridge Holland backstage segment next where they introduce Butch, as a lot of you people will know as Pete Dunne.
Shit on it.
God fucking awful. Why the fuck did they change his name? And if you wanted to change his name, you could have called him Pete. You could have called him Dunne. You went with Butch.
Shit on it. Shit was fucking awful. Why change his name, dude? That's the shit I don't get.
Why are you having dressed up like a 1920s paperboy?
Right. Like, you already got enough people that's dressing like kind of outdated. Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Like, I got Butch. That's like that now. Somebody is obsessed with like the 1920s.
Gotta be. We had a Sami Zayn backstage promo next. He's upset that Johnny Knoxville gave his number out all over the city of LA. He put it on a plane and flew it over the city. And now Sami Zayn is getting a shit ton of calls. I wonder, is that real?
Probably not. I mean, that shit was probably pre-recorded. It's probably all set up like that.
All right.
I guarantee there was people who worked backstage that was calling his phone for real. That was doing that, but that probably wasn't his real number. That's probably a number to that stadium that they was in.
Makes sense. Before I forget, because it's not in my notes here, we had Sheamus, Rich Holland versus Big E and Kofi Kingston. If you guys have seen it, Big E got flipped right on his fucking head, broken neck. Me and Salamander talked about it with our special guest on a separate podcast, B-Rags, on just safety. That was god awful to look at. Poor, I don't know. I don't know. To me, Rich Hollins, he's just not ready. He dumped Johnny Gargano on his head. You gotta know what you're doing when you're a professional wrestler or WWE superstar, and your opponent has to be able to put their life in your hands.
Yeah. That shit is crazy. I mean, we touched on it already. We pretty much said a lot of stuff that we could say about it. It was a nasty bump. It's nasty to watch. Yeah. It was real ugly.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus Jinder Mahal, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss. We didn't get that match because the Viking Raiders were getting beat up backstage, and Drew McIntyre went to make the save. Next, we had a Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair promo. Next, Ronda Rousey says she's going to go on and make Charlotte tap out at WrestleMania. She was a tad bit offended that Charlotte said that she was a one-trick pony, which I don't understand because they never acknowledged the wrestlers watching the product, right?
Right.
So how did Ronda Rousey know that Charlotte Flair called her a one-trick pony?
I don't know. WWE just like we don't know who threw the pod Kevin Owens.
I mean, am I making sense though?
Yeah.
I mean, because to my knowledge, they don't watch the product.
Right. And they still look at TVs at a weird angle.
Right. We had Sasha Banks and Naomi against Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Sasha Banks and Naomi got the win. We then had the Usos and Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs promo segment next. The Usos were hyping up the fact that they are the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs come out. They want a shot at WrestleMania for the titles. The Usos see that Rick Boogs' leg is hurt and says if Rick Boogs can get the win, then they'll go ahead and give him the match. Jay versus Rick Boogs. Come to find out, Rick Boogs is not injured, and Rick Boogs beat main event Uso for the win. And now we're getting the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I feel like there was such an easier way to get here than having Jay Uso take a pinfall loss.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it.
I don't know either. Intercontinental. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's like it's really irrelevant. Like it wasn't no need for him to pick up the loss at all.
No. Intercontinental Championship rematch. Sami Zayn versus Ricochet. Ricochet got the win in a very entertaining main event. Then I was looking at this like, that's kind of weird. Not Raw. SmackDown goes off at 9:58, but it's 9:55, so there's 3 minutes left in this show. And then we go backstage to Charlotte and Ronda Rousey fighting. I thought this was very contrived and very boring, and they tried to recreate the magic they had. And what was that, like 2017, 2018, where they were banging in the back of the police cruiser?
Yeah, I was just about to say that's what it kind of reminded me of, like a recreation.
Yeah, and it wasn't as good as that one. I'm going to give SmackDown a 5.
Yeah, I mean, besides the Paul Heyman shit, I'd say it's a 6. WWE, I don't know what the fuck they be doing lately.
Right. We're gonna breeze through Rampage real quick. Darby Allin beat Mark Quinn. He tapped him out with the Fujiwara armbar. Jeff Hardy made an appearance. Jamie Hayter beat Mercedes Martinez. Keith Lee beat QT Marshall. And Shane Strickland beat Tony Nese in his Rampage debut. Solid show. 6.
The Hardy Boys also appeared on the show too.
I said that.
Yeah, they didn't do shit though. They just came out and just sat there and stuff. But yeah. Tony Nese. Do you like his attire, or do you think it was better when he had all the colorful shit?
Tony Nese?
Yeah.
I like his attire now. But it's Tony Nese. He can wear whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, but before we cue today's news, we are going to give y'all guys a sneak peek to the podcast that we did yesterday. And this podcast will not be on YouTube. It will only be on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. That's where you can catch this. And also some more exclusive episodes that we will be doing. So if you like us and really fuck with us, go ahead and follow us wherever you get your podcast from, because you will be getting exclusive episodes and shit. Like, we upload weekly over there and all that shit too. So without further ado, this is a sneak peek.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of the B&B podcast. We are your hosts, Emilio Salamander and KB the Mark, because I'm a fucking mark for this shit. And today we are joined by a special guest, B Rags. How you doing today?
Pretty good, man. How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Hey man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. You're like our second special guest, man, and
I thought I was first.
Hey man.
I thought I felt special for a minute.
No, you should. You number 2. I mean, you know, this ain't like Nelly's number 1.
Okay.
And, you know, 2 is nobody we remember, but you know, you're number 2. You'll always be remembered. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so Salamander took my shit. But what I normally do before we start is, how you both doing? How you both doing?
We're doing fantastic.
Doing good.
That's what I like to hear. We have random topics for you guys today. B Rags is a very, very special guest. We've often discussed wrestling in the heated of discussions. And I love just talking wrestling with you. Huge Triple H mark. Triple H World Heavyweight Champion, that's his guy. That to him, that's the best. And that's what I respect about him the most. But before we jump into the random topics, we are going to discuss wrestler safety and everything that happened last night with Biggie. So take a look at it, guys. We're going to take a look. Yeah, that's a tough bump there to take.
That's hard to watch.
That is hard to watch. So this isn't the first time Ridge Holland has injured somebody. He injured and dropped Johnny Gargano on his head just like this. So I'm not an advocate for anybody losing their job, but let me ask you two. Does Ridge Holland need to go away, or do they just need to send him to the PC? Do they need to release him? Because at this point, it looks like he's a danger to himself and the town.
I mean, I would say he would need to go to the PC since he's already been called up and been a part of the draft. But I would say keep him away from in-ring action for a while. If he's going to be Sheamus' side piece, just have him be there, have him be acting as a manager or whatever. But in the meanwhile, he need to be in the PC because right now he becoming the male version of Nia Jax.
All right, and that's it. Once again, thank you to B Rags for coming out and appearing on our podcast. But let's go ahead and cue the news. First story of the day, we got WWE Hall of Famer Scott Hall. He is currently on life support after suffering 3 heart attacks. Now, on the behalf of WBPTV, Million Salamander, and KB Lamar, we'd like to send our best wishes, hoping for a speedy recovery. You don't need another legend to go out. Not like this. Get well, Scott Hall. Prayers up for you. Moving on to our next story, we got WWE. They nixed plans for Kevin Owens on Friday Night SmackDown. This week have marked the start of the build of the confrontation between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 38 next month. The former Universal Champion, haven't heard that in a while, he issued an offer to the WWE Hall of Famer that will appear to be on his KO show this past Monday on Raw. WWE had plans for Owens this week on SmackDown, even though he's a Raw star. Fightful Selects reported that Kevin Owens was listed for an in-ring promo on the run sheet. Now, we didn't get that. It's unclear to see why they took that off the show, but the promo was removed and it was said to be produced by Jason Jordan. Y'all guys remember him, Kurt Angle's son? He's a current producer right now, but he was set to produce that segment that was supposed to happen, but for some reason they pulled it off the show. It's unclear why. They could be saving it for Monday night this upcoming week, tomorrow. They could be saving it for then. Or, Vince McMahon, the card is always subject to change. The card be changing. For all you know, you probably on the show and you had a match coming out, and then once later you posted you and the gorilla waiting, and they probably tell you like, oh no, we actually gonna do that next week. This is what's gonna happen right now. So shit changes every week.
Yeah, I mean, cards always subject to change. You know that, messing around with Vinnie Mac, like you said, you could be on the show. You could be on the show 5 minutes before it goes on air. Next thing you know, Vinnie Mac's like, "Yeah, nah, we're not gonna do that. Scrap it. You just always gotta be ready to go, and ready if you are already set and you're not gonna go.
Always. Moving on to our next story, DDP, he reaches out to Big E. Now, as we all said, Big E has suffered a nasty injury. He had really broke his neck. And DDP will actually go on and make a tweet. He said, after last night's SmackDown, my heart goes out to my brother Big E. If you need me, brother, I got you. After Tommaso Ciampa and Ivar got done with their broken neck rehab, they both came to my crib and stayed a few days with me to do the DDD rebuild. And he said, Xavier Woods has my number. DDP is known for one of the people who helped get, legends and everybody back on track, and with his rehab that he do, his yoga and everything. So I think this will be a nice move for Big E. This will probably, for real, if he's gonna be out for a while, let's say he out for at least for the rest of the year, for real. So let's say he probably fucking gonna come back leaner, fucking with DDP, for real.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is will he be able to retain the Big E power?
The thing, I think this whole thing would change up his whole the way he wrestled. But it could be for the better, it could be for the worse. We don't know. Only time will tell when we see him back in that ring. But this intertwines with our next story. Big E also came out and said he don't need no surgery, but he has no damage to his spinal cord. So that's a great thing. So that's really great. I think just in the meanwhile, he's just gonna be. He needed his neck needed heal. If it wasn't for him having all that muscle, he probably would have been a done deal and paralyzed from the neck down possibly. But I think it was all that neck muscle and shit that saved him, and the reason why he don't even need surgery and shit like that either. So that's a great thing. I think whenever if he complete rehab, he need to go ahead and take DDP up on that offer. Yeah, I'll be with DDP until the month before I'm supposed to come back. Cause I'm telling you, if he link up with DDP, he gonna be more lean.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to work with DDP? DDP is like you say, he's responsible for getting legends back on track. So imagine what he's going to do with somebody who's already hungry to get back.
Right.
I mean, like I said, if I was Big E, I'd do it. But then again, we're not Big E, and we don't know what Big E wants.
Right. Moving on to our next story. Vince McMahon, he's reportedly very hands-on with Friday Night SmackDown. On this week episode of Friday Night SmackDown, they continue to build for WrestleMania 38, in addition with feature an official main roster of Arrival, Pete Dunne, who is going by the name Butch, and we already reported on. PW Insider reported that a lot of segments had been shifted due to the changes over the course of the day due to Vince McMahon. He was very hands-on with the taping today, including the brawl with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair at the end of the show. WWE had actually pre-taped the segment earlier in the day and inserted it into the broadcast. It was said there was a lot of concern over Big E taking over the course of the night, where he had landed on his head for taking a German suplex from Reyes Holland during the tag team match. Unfortunately, he suffered a broken neck as a result. Previous noted, Sasha Banks, she was slated to take on the Queen Selena Vega in a singles match, but WWE changed it to Selena and Carmella versus Banks and Naomi in a tag match. So just some of the changes that happened during the show that Vince McMahon had did.
That's a lot to take in. You know what? I guess some of the changes was worth it. But now that I know that brawl wasn't live, now I can shit on it some more, because you had a chance to rerun it and do it live and you chose not to. That didn't look good at all. You tried to recreate some shit that was magical when it happened, with those two banging in the back of the police cruiser, and this shit just looked all type of goofy. And Charlotte's over here beating up all of the backstage officials. So to my knowledge, she put her hands on multiple WWE officials, so she should be getting suspended next week, right?
Right. I mean, y'all did that before. Y'all sure did have that part of a storyline before.
Yeah. And then I hate how they don't call moves, because they're like, oh my gosh, look at this devastating submission move. I'm like, she locked in a dragon sleeper. You know who makes a dragon sleeper look devastating? Bryan Danielson. Outside of that, this just looks like some type of goofy submission move on the hood of a car. I thought it was live. That's why I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. But now that I know it's not live and y'all had a chance to look at it and Vince McMahon signed off on it, that was god fucking awful.
That's funny. Moving on to our next story, we got the backstage reaction to Pete Dunne's name change. Now, I'm just going to say one quote that was said. Quote, something very dumb. That's all that needed to be said about this shit.
Could have called him Pete, could have called him Dunne, but they called him Butch.
Right. Why even change his name? Why?
That makes me wonder. So is he no longer going by the bruiser weight?
Probably not. Probably not. They probably threw all that shit away.
He looks like a regular guy now. He looks like a regular WWE superstar.
Right. All right, moving on to the next story. We got 2 segments they announced for WWE Monday Night Raw. 2 segments for Monday Night Raw has been revealed after Kevin Owens issued a challenge for Stone Cold Steve Austin to appear on the KO show at WrestleMania. Owens, he will respond to the WWE Hall of Famer. Now, Austin, he had vowed that he will open one last can of whoop ass on Owens in his promo. The segment is slated to take place on the first night of WrestleMania 38. They also announced that Raw will see Randy Orton and Matt Riddle have an Arcade Bro Championship celebration, that they had just won the Tag Team Championship match in this past Monday Night Raw. Now this is a actually second tag team reign as being together as Arcade Bro. Now, like you said, KB, you do think that this will probably be the mark of the turn. So if they do turn, I do agree with you. I do think there'll be a good story to see how these two is it they turning for the worse or they turning to get on WrestleMania. So if Randy Orton doing this so he can have a match at WrestleMania with Matt Riddle, and then also will they still be the tag team champions?
Yeah, a lot of things they can do with this Arcade Bro story, and that's why I've been telling you it's up there with that CM Punk and MJF, because with CM Punk and MJF, we were saying when MJF came out and cut that amazing babyface promo about his upbringing, me and you both said there's so many different directions you can go now, because at first it was just MJF being a dick, but then when he cut that promo and you heard CM Punk say, this was just a Friday to me, but to you this was the best day of your life.
Right.
And like now it's like, wow, CM Punk, you a dick. Like you made MJF like this. Same thing with the Arcade Bro storyline. So many directions you can go. it's an amazing storyline. That's why I said it's up there. It's up there with the MJF and CM Punk. It's a great storyline, and I think Randy Orton turning on Riddle next on Monday Night Raw, that just adds another layer to it. And like you said, I like what you said because I hadn't even factored that in. Am I just betraying you just so I can get a match on WrestleMania, or do I really just want to end this? But I wanted to make sure that we had gold one more time, so you pretty much remember what it's like to hold gold.
Yeah,
because I think that for real, if that's the direction you're going, who's to say Riddle isn't world champion next year? Who's to say they don't run Orton and Riddle at next year's Mania for the WWE Championship, and Riddle gets his crowning moment there?
right.
So many different directions you can go.
So many. Moving on to the next story. Another title match was added onto the WWE WrestleMania 38 card. It was announced that a title match for WrestleMania Night 1 would take place, and this will be the Usos defending their tag team title against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. How do you feel about this? Oh, before you answer that, let me go ahead and announce what so far with the matches that's for WrestleMania. The winner take all, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. The Raw Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. The Women's Tag Team match, Queen Selena and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. The Raw Tag Team title match, so they are booked for WrestleMania, but they don't have an opponent as of right now. And then the SmackDown Tag Team match that we just announced, Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn, Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, Edge versus AJ Styles, and then the Kevin Owens show with the special guest being Stone Cold Steve Austin. So far, is this show better than last year's? Do you think?
No, and it's not even close.
Huh.
It's not even close. I don't think anything's going to top last year. They will have to pretty much give me a pretty much perfect card from top to bottom. I mean, we're getting Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. That probably won't be that good. The Usos, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rick Boogs. I feel like they're going to make the decision and take the belt off the Usos, which is going to be a bad decision.
There are no Shinsuke title reigns with WWE. Whenever he gained the title, he just don't defend it.
Right. I mean, the only good matches here are what? Roman Brock, AJ Edge, Becky Bianca. That's like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any good matches outside of that.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that. Alright, moving on to our next story, we got Charlotte Flair. She surpasses one of Trish Stratus' WWE Mindstone. Now, basically, with all of the Raw, SmackDown, the Women's, and the Divas Championship combined, the whole title reign and defenses, Charlotte Flair is number 2 on the list. She has a total of 13 reigns, 26 defenses. It's the combined days of 822 days. Trish Stratus, she is number 3 on the list with 7 reigns, 36 defenses, and 821 days. Oh, that's 822 days accounted for Charlotte Flair. And number 4 on the list is Becky Lynch with 6 title reigns, 20 defenses, and 809 days and counting.
It's the queen. It's the fucking queen.
Moving on to our last story, another WWE superstar, he would join Control Your Narrative promotion. Now, the Control Your Narrative had added another WWE superstar to their list. The formerly known superstar, formerly known as Fandango, however way you want to pronounce it, they announced today that he had joined the promotion. Now, he will be wrestling under the name Dirty Dango after being released from WWE last year. Now, there's no details of where he will be appearing, but Control Your Narratives has scheduled a show for March 31st in Dallas during WrestleMania weekend. Now, so far, there has been 3 names that's advertised during Dallas: it's Strowman, EC3, and Killer Cross. Now, that's a good thing. Do you think Killer Cross might go ahead and do that, since that's a promotion owned by wrestlers, so they kind of wrestlers who was getting overlooked, so they kind of understand? Or do you think he will just make an appearance but also sign to, either go back to Impact or sign to AEW?
I think he'll sign to AEW with Scarlett, but he'll be able to make regular appearances for Control Your Narrative. And I like Control Your Narrative, Solomon. I'm not gonna lie to you. They actually, because there are a lot of keyboard warriors. So they allow wrestlers to be they allow their fans to be in a room with wrestlers and talk about what they don't like about them. But nobody wanted to take them up on their offer. From what I heard, it was only one person who was willing to step foot in the room. So you willing to talk shit behind the keyboard, but when they actually give you the opportunity for you to tell them what you don't like about them, you want to back down?
Right.
Like, come on now. You can't just be a keyboard warrior. If you're going to talk that talk, then talk that talk, but talk that talk all the way through.
Right. Now, Control Your Narrative. So this is one thing when they signed Fandango. This is one thing. What we was talking about yesterday on the podcast about our thoughts on W2K. Now, there was some people who got released, and then there was like Fandango got released last year. There was some people who got released early this year. The people who got released early this year are not on the game, but some people who got released last year is still on the fucking game. Fandango is still on the game. That's weird as fuck. Who else? It was somebody else who I was like, bro, they got released, but they partners on the game. I forgot the person, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I still don't know how I feel about this damn game. I really don't.
I'm tempted to go back into the oldies for real. So, it's whatever. It's a, like I said when we talked about it on the podcast, it's a 7 out of 10. It's a low 7 out of 10. They made improvements, but there are still horrible glitches. They improved on a lot of stuff, but the stuff that's bad is ultimately bad.
Right. Well, that's it, guys. Go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment what you think about this week of wrestling and the news that you heard today. Don't forget to go ahead and check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts from. You can catch the TV podcast there. Go ahead and follow us on there so you can see all of our exclusive hot takes, everything. When we have interviews, our very first interview or whatever, that will be over there too. So go ahead and catch that shit over there. Why not be early? Once again, I'm Camilo Salamander, KB the Mark, and simply be some fucking marks.
I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings. It's been me and my team and we chasing the green. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.